Hi, nice to see you.
So my question is, what do you think the biggest change in Korean and Israel diplomatic relations last 10 years?
Mhm.
Because now I see many Korean students are here, and so what do you think is the biggest change?
Well, I believe the biggest change is the level of people-to-people exchange, and it is being reflected and translated in the number of Koreans that visiting Israel. First and foremost, we have direct flights between our two countries. Korea Airline flies to Israel 3 times a week, and it enables close to 40,000 Koreans to visit Israel every year. So this is a significant change. The other one is, of course, economic. The level of economic ties also increased. This year we're speaking about 2.5 billion US dollar bilateral trade between the two countries. I think the two markets are very much compatible. Israel is a leading nation when it comes to innovation and creativity. Korea excel in mass production and is well known in Asia and behind it. And I think there is a very much synergy here between our two nations. So also the exchange of business people, the fact that there is a representation of Korean companies here in Israel, and vice versa. There are many Israeli companies nowadays in Korea, and there are Israeli factories in Korea. And also the fact that you are here, I think also it shows that the academic exchange also increased a lot in the last 10 years. And it's very nice and very satisfying to see that, especially this year, when we mark the 50th anniversary between Israel and Korea. And of course, to mention the fact that Israel also hosted this year Asia Science Camp, which is one of the most important gathering for young geniuses from all over Asia, and the Korean delegation that came and took part in this Asia Science Camp was from Korea. And you hosted the Asia Science Camp last year, and we hosted it this year. So all in all, we see a tremendous progress in the relation between our two countries.
So it seems like Korea and Israel can be a really good partner, and even now is a good partner.
Yeah.
So what can we expect in the next 10 years, and what will be the benefit for Korean investors or Israelis to get to know each other?
Well, first of all, we hope to have much better contact with Korea. You are now entering a seat of a non-permanent member of the Security Council in the next 2 years. So it will be very important to have a direct line, even closer, to discuss all the outstanding international issues between us. Now I would like to see also increase. We just said that the relations are good, but we would like to see even a deepening of the relations between our two nations. I think there are many issues that we can collaborate and which pose a major challenge both for Korea and for Israel. For example, the issue of clean tech, environmental issues, renewable energy. We just had here in our foreign ministry just yesterday the first green growth dialogue between the two countries, and there were representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Environment, and other Korea agencies here in Israel, and from the Israeli side as well, there was a representation of all the relevant agencies here in Israel, and that was, we ignited a process that I hope that will be much more significant in the coming years, because this is a major challenge worldwide, but especially for two societies which does not have and does not possess any natural resources we rely a lot on importing energy, and we have to see how we lower this dependency on energy and using the energy of the nature. So I think here, there will be a significant cooperation and collaboration, and also in other areas, especially in the high-tech sector. Again, as I mentioned before, I think the synergy between the two nations exists, but I think it can go even deeper. I would be more than happy to see more and more Korean company opening here in Israel an R&D center, like many of the multinational companies, that most of them has an office here, an R&D office here. There are two Korean companies, Samsung and LG, that have offices here, looking a kind of an R&D centers, looking for technologies. But I would like to see many more Korean companies coming here and opening offices over here. Another area which I believe that we will see development will be also the R&D and looking for the next technology, and also in investment. This is a phenomena that we are already experiencing in the last few years. There are several Israeli venture capital companies and investment companies that are looking for a match and a partner on the Korean side. And I believe that also we will see Korean investment company coming to Israel and looking for investment. And going back to what I said in the beginning, I would like to see much more people-to-people exchange. I would like to see more Israelis visiting Korea. We mentioned the increasing number of Koreans coming to Israel, but I would like to see more Israeli, discovering Korea. And here my expectation is to sign on an agreement for youth, for young people between the two countries, what we call a working holiday scheme, where young people until the age of 30 can go to the other country for 1 year, and they can combine working and traveling for 1 year. And this way it will enable them to be exposed to the culture of the other country. So we have now exchange of draft between the two countries, and I hope that next year we are going also to sign this agreement.
That's great. Thank you for the interview.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure.